Hey, what's up guys, it's Ryan, and welcome to week number 66 of the top 5 Skyrim mods of the week. Now hopefully you guys will enjoy the mods that I've picked off for this week. Starting off at our number 5 spot, we have Balgruuf, the Greater Follower. Now this basically just adds a new Jarl Balgruuf that isn't the same as the original one in Whiterun. I mean, it is the same exact copy of the NPC, but it's not him himself, so all the quests will still work. But all it does is it adds Balgruuf into the game, and he's on the second floor sitting up here. As you can see, I showed you where he was, and he's one of the best people in the game. I think that doing quests for him in the beginning, and I think he's one of the best Jarls that could possibly be, because Whiterun is just such an amazing city, and I spent so much time playing Skyrim in Whiterun, you know, doing all my stuff. You know, I have my breeze home in here, I, you know, get my smithing skill up here, I trade all my goods here, go to the general goods, you know, so he's just a good Jarl, taking care of a great city, and whenever you're doing his quests for him, I always imagine what he would be like out in the battlefield and what he would be like out, you know, in the world of Skyrim, you know, facing giants and stuff like that. So that's exactly what this mod does. It adds him as a follower, and he can follow you around. You can give him the armor that he needs, you can give him the weapons that he needs, and he already has some pretty good weapons. He has a sword as well as a bow, and he has some one-handed perks as well, such as Armsman, Bladesman, and Critical Charge, and on archery he has Quick Shot, so he can shoot his bow faster. And he can also level up all the way to level 200 with your character. So if you're playing a long playthrough and you're getting to high levels, then Jarl Balgruuf is going to be right by your side the entire time. And I just think that's a really cool aspect that they added into the game. A Jarl as your follower, I think that's a great aspect, and that's definitely why it comes in at our number 5 spot. So I'd recommend giving this mod a try. Coming in at our number 4 spot, we have a Balanced Time spell. Now this simply adds a bend time spell to the game. The goal is to add a time slowing spell that isn't too overpowered but still useful and fits seamlessly like it was part of the vanilla game. Now bend time, which is an expert alteration spell, slows time to 10% of its normal rate, which is the same as the final word of the slow time shout. It lasts for about 10 seconds and about 15 seconds with the stability perk. Dual casting brings the duration to 22 seconds and 33 seconds with stability. The magicka cost is slightly more than paralyzed. Now I noticed that with an average magicka, it takes about 75 to 80% of your magicka, I believe, at least in the testing that I was doing here. It takes a big portion of your magicka, so it's not an insanely overpowered spell that you can just keep casting over and over again. It's actually a spell that you have to use wisely, because if you're a mage and you use this spell, you're not going to have many magicka points left to actually cast other spells. So I think this would go great for people that use, you know, one-handed and they're going in with a sword and they just want to slow down time to maybe get a couple quick hits in on a bunch of different targets. If there's a big group of people, then this would definitely be a useful spell to have. And the spell tome can be purchased from Tolfdir once your alteration is high enough, but a free copy of the spell tome can also be found at a certain shrine of Akatosh in the wilderness. Now I actually showed you guys where the Akatosh shrine was, where to actually find the bend time spell. So if you already have an alteration skill that's high enough, you could either just purchase it from the College of Winterhold, or you can go to this shrine and get it yourself. So overall, I think this mod's very useful, because I really didn't like using the shout that would slow time. I think that's a little too much. I like my whirlwind sprint way too much and unrelenting force way too much to actually have other shouts enabled. So I think a spell that actually does the bend time as well and actually costs a lot of magicka to cast as well. And I think that it's very fair, and it really fits into the game quite nicely, especially for people who want to just sneak around. And the Dark Brotherhood missions would be so fun while doing these, you know, sneaking around, getting those quick assassination kills while using slow time would be so useful in those missions. So that's definitely why it comes in at our number 4 spot, so I'd recommend giving this mod a try. Coming in at our number 3 spot, we have a rather large mod called the World Tree of Skyrim. Now, the mod page reads that Kara and her German Shepherd are waiting for you in their small house near the western watchtower of Whiterun to accompany you in the underworld of Bosmers. Now the house is actually located right here. It has a nice little stable outside, and heading on into the house, it is a very small house, a very, very tiny house, but it has a bunch of different spots that you can teleport around the map to. Some of the things that it comes with: there's a huge tree, there's 9 houses, 21 companions, 18 are Bosmers, there's unicorns, old horses, mush skeevers, mush spiders, mushrooms, and much, much more. Now the houses with the companions in it as well: there's the small house, the trunk house, the champ house, the balcon house, the mushroom house, the temple, the tree house, and the igloo house. And the other followers can be found in the world of the tree as well. There's a bunch of different spells added to this game as well. There's a Call Upon Creatures spell, which can summon a old horse, a unicorn, a jellyfish, Echo the Bosmer, Elvi, a dolphin, a shark, and a mush spider. Now different Bosmers and Farengar also have these books to purchase as well. Now, as you can see me walking around this big area that is included with this mod, it's a very interesting mod that I haven't really seen before. I haven't seen anything like this, where it just adds a whole bunch of different spots to teleport from a small house, and going around there's a giant tree with a bunch of followers, there's a big pathway, and a bunch of, it just seems like there's a giant village underground that is just, filled with mushrooms and all kinds of crazy creatures. Now, with this underground settlement, you could either live here or you could just keep coming back for different followers. You can go here and find a perfect follower for you because there is so much to choose from, so many unique NPCs, and so much to do from this mod. So that's definitely why it comes in at our number 3 spot. So I'd strongly recommend giving this mod a try. Coming in at our number 2 spot, we have a player home mod called the Tree Lodge. Now, the Tree Lodge is right outside of the Dragon Bridge. You could just look up and it's literally right there once you fast travel to the Dragon Bridge. And what it has is a fantastic high view over the Dragon Bridge and surrounding area. It has an alchemy table, an enchantment table, and full smithing areas. There's lots of storage, and there's a kitchen with an oven and a cook pot, and also unique storage as well. Now, you guys know how I like my really small houses, and I like how everything is, compact together and everything's not all spread out. I really think that's a cool aspect, and especially being up in a tree with all this and having the bridges going across from side to side, being able to walk across a bridge in your house. I think that is really cool. I think that's a really cool aspect of being able to walk across to different buildings while on top of trees as well. And all this in a player home, it has everything you're going to need, all the little crafting tables that you're going to need, and all the storage as well. So that's definitely why it comes in at our number 2 spot, and it's a very great mod, and it looks like a lot of time was put into it, so I'd strongly recommend downloading it. Coming in at our number 1 spot, we have Llethin Fel. I believe that's how you pronounce it. And the mod page reads that this mod adds a large Redoran-themed player home into the game. Now, the manor is located in the village of Llethin Fel, which is a unique island with custom Morrowind flora, fauna, architecture, inhabitants, and scenery. The village and the manor feature cloud storage amenities and named containers. So this is a mod with a huge new village added into the game that also has a player home along with it. Some of the features of it is there's a new village with a player home on a unique island with guards, miners, a netch herder with custom netch leather armor, merchants, cliff racers, and much more creatures and inhabitants. There's also custom architecture and clutter, Morrowind-style soul gems, and Kwama eggs. There's also a custom-voiced quest to obtain the manor, and you can start it by talking to Velothis Serethi, who is in the Retching Netch of Solstheim. There's a Dunmore ship that allows travel from Solstheim to Llethin Fel. You could just get under the deck. I showed you where that was right at the beginning. Then there's the large Redoran-themed manor with a chef, groundskeeper, and a hireable guard. And the manor features a living room, a kitchen, an alchemy area, an enchantment area, an armory with custom storage for Daedric artifacts, jars, black books, and Elder Scrolls. There's a master bedroom, a bedroom for 2 children, a guard bedroom, and a bathhouse. So there is so much that comes with this mod. It is just insane. And just walking around the city, you can see that a lot of time was put into this, and it's very beautiful. It's a very beautiful village, and it definitely fits in, and it feels like it was in the vanilla game from the get-go. Now that I've showed you much of the village, I'm going to be giving you guys a little bit of a tour on the inside of the manor itself, so let's begin.
But I will wait for you. There's nothing left for me to do but run and act myself a fool. No point in trusting anyone. Your eyes are diamonds keep me.
I'm really glad that they made a mod outside of the land of Skyrim, because I'm pretty sure every single mod that I've pretty much ever covered was in the land of Skyrim, and no one else really makes mods that allow you to travel to, other islands and other locations that are far away from the island of Skyrim. And I think that's really cool how they just add their own little unique area into the game that has never been seen before. And that's just something about mods that I really love, is just whenever people create something from the ground up and it's just completely new. And that's exactly what this village is. Adding this new village into the game, it feels like an entirely new part of the game, and it's just an amazing mod in general, and that's definitely why it comes in at our number 1 spot, so I'd strongly recommend downloading it. So that's pretty much it for this week's episode of the top 5 Skyrim mods of the week. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and if you did, I would appreciate it if you left a like and subscribe if you're new. It really helps me out a lot. And if you have any suggestions for mods that you'd like me to cover in future top 5 mod episodes, be sure to let me know in the comment section below, or you can follow me on Twitter. I'll be sure to leave my Twitter in the description, and you guys can follow me on there and leave me suggestions through there as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I'll talk to you guys later.